Oh, and we're live. Hello.
Oh, we're live. That's great.
Yeah, it
Because we're
is,
gonna
isn't it?
play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Good to be alive
Um,
for Dungeons and Dragons. Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Woo. Tuesday night. This is tonight. Good times. We're gonna get started momentarily, but you should know
It's true.
that we're here.
This
Weird
will
having a
be.
small group.
It is. I am curious what it's gonna feel like, because I have not had a group that's less than 6 people in quite a while.
I had to do a new layout in our live streaming software because how do I fit 4 players instead of 6, 7, 10? What a time to be alive to have only 4 players.
So we are specifically going to be playing a brand new adventure, starting out a new adventure. The adventure is called Talkworth's Clockworks. It is from a book that I should have in front of me. Keys from the Golden Vault, which are all heist-themed adventures. That is our plan for the evening, is to play approximately an hour of Talkworth's Clockworks. I'm assuming players are getting their Roll20 interfaces set up and everyone is settled in. You're all at the home page where it just has the adventure splash screen. You can hopefully move your token, because if you can't, I have done something horribly wrong.
Nice.
Almost everyone has moved
Back
their
with
token.
my good friend Krong. The
Yeah.
breakout
Orders on
character
these
of Total
tokens.
Party Kill.
Love Krong.
Yep. I think because this is the start of an adventure, we'll do the thing where I introduce the players, but not the characters. And then the characters will appear one by one shortly. I think that was the thing Micah introduced that I have stolen from him. But yeah, I think that's our plan. You are all level 5. Some of you have a good deal of magic items at this point, so you're solidly getting into that mid-level, middle-aged characters there. Yeah.
I didn't even mention my magic sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a magic scimitar. It's exciting.
Anything we need to figure out before we play Dungeon and Dragon?
I hope not.
Okay, let me just make sure I've got all my notes open in the right place. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindlar, Dungeon Master, use he, him pronouns. And today we are starting off a new adventure, specifically Talkworth's Clockworks. It's a title that's kind of hard for me to say. I'm going to try it one more time. Talkworth's Clockworks, one of the heist-based adventures from the Keys from the Golden Vault collection of adventures. This is the level 5 adventure, which is going to be an adventure that will feature all returning characters, but in new configurations. Not all of these characters have met each other. But let's not get hung up on characters. Let's focus on the people behind the characters. Those individuals I call the players. Let's meet our players one by one, and then we will get into the action. First up, it's Chip Sudderth. Welcome back, Chip. You survived your first Total Party Kill adventure and returned for a second. You are now liable for all damages that occur to you.
Awesome. Yes, glutton for punishment. Am I? This is going to be my second Dungeons and Dragons game in about 30 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still terrified.
Yeah, and we made it happen as opposed to just letting scheduling get in the way and the adventure eventually putter out and never go anywhere. We're breaking all kinds of traditions here. Also joining us, it's Jason Snell. Welcome back, Jason.
Hi, Tony. It's good to be back. I'm happy to return to the Keys to the Golden Vault. I was busy for a while and I wasn't participating, but now I'm back to participate and I can't wait for more participation.
You're on sabbatical. We let you level up even though you weren't there due to
my character was doing
clause
things
in your contract
somewhere else.
Yes, every day Jason emailed me and told me what his character was doing, Tamagotchi style, and that's why he gets to level up.
Yep.
So
my character is now a Tamagotchi.
That's not how Tamagotchis work.
Nope. It's not.
They're not an email-based toy. So, also joining us, it's Aline Sims. Welcome to Keys from the Golden Vault, Aline.
Love a heist. Excited for this.
And finally, our fourth player was right. We have a nice, small, intimate group here, not a wild, unwieldy group that I will regret and then say never again. The key is that I frequently plan groups of 4 or 5, and then people say, "Oh, but can I join?" And the trick here is to announce the start of the group very soon, close to recording, so that there's a smaller window in which people could join the adventure. This is how the meta game that is joining us on a Party Kill adventure. Finally, joining us, it's Monty Ashley. Welcome back, Monty.
Thank you, Tony. I will do my best to make this as wild and unwieldy as you could possibly imagine.
I believe that it's possible. And Monty, we're going to start with you. Can you reintroduce the character that you will be playing in this adventure?
Oh, I'm playing Krong, the bugbear rogue. Krong these days has a hat of disguise. So although he is a bugbear, he normally just goes around looking like a fop. Fancy baggy trousers, they're called slops. A doublet, very classy.
A human fop or a bugbear fop?
He looks like a human fop.
Okay. You could look like an elven fop, but
Well, a human fop I feel is better for the long curly mustachio and pointy goatee.
Mm-mm. So our adventure is going to start with Krong. It's, I think we're just embracing that he's a fan favorite and everybody else is just along for the ride. It's Krong's world. We're just living in it. It's a Tuesday evening in Krong's world. And where might Krong be on a Tuesday evening?
Playing it's Tuesday evening, everybody.
Tuesday evening.
Let's say at a museum.
All right. And after a lovely evening at the museum, he returns home. That's how this story works.
There are so many things at this museum, though.
Yep. Deep, rich storytelling that I provide here. As Krong is readying for bed, Krong, you hear a little tapping noise on the window to your bedroom. Tap, 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 tap.
I answer the door.
There's nobody at the door because the tapping is on the window.
This game brought to you by Infocom.
Yeah.
I was checking the door to make sure there's nobody there. Now that I know there's it, I will slink over to the window and open it. Stealthily.
All right. There is a little crow sitting there, and it's holding a golden key in its beak.
Well, Mr. Crow, we meet again. Have we met?
The crow kind of shrugs. The crow says caw, shrugs, and drops the key on the windowsill and flaps away.
Saying, I'm different.
I pick up the key. It's just a key.
It's one of those golden keys that you recognize is the common way that the Golden Vault is known for distributing their missions. For Krong, it's not just a simple bugbear. He's also an operative of the Golden Vault, a secret society, a society with secrets, but not one of those bad jerk societies, a society that, wants the world to be just a little bit safer, a little bit better, a little bit fairer. And
to get those, to achieve those goals, it has us knock over casinos and break people out of prison.
Well,
it's a society that seeks leverage.
You did one. You kept an elder god from hatching at the museum, so you did one good thing, and then several questionable things. And Krog, of course, as an operative of the Golden Vault, has squirreled away in his quarters a little wooden box that he knows likely fits this key.
I will apply the key. I will go into my closet and move stuff around and take it out from the back of the closet and put it on the desk, and then apply the key to the box.
All right. Something you've done / seen your colleagues do before. The key fits into the lock, turns, and then the key kind of dissolves away in like a little glowing dust, and the box begins to speak. You hear the soothing voice of your minder, Mirror here, and she says, "Greetings, operative. We have learned that this is gonna be a hard word to say. We have learned that the Snurf's Neblin town of Little Lockford needs our help. Tixie Tockworth, once entrusted with the town security, has turned the town's clockwork automatons against the populace. This quest, should you choose to undertake it, requires you to infiltrate Little Lockford retrieve a security key, and use it to power down the clockwork automatons. You are also empowered to stop Tixie Talkworth from doing further harm to the town. The box kind of rattles, and you have not seen this happen before, Krong. It starts out about the size of a keyhole and then glows and gets bigger, and there is a glowing portal in your bedroom, kind of shaped like keyhole shaped.
I was really looking forward to going to sleep and dreaming about all those stuffed Tarasques and stuff they had at the museum.
Sweet museum. Yep.
I glance around, I get all my stuff. Let's see, playing card set, poisoner's kit, thieves' tools, stuff like that, and walk through the portal.
All right. On the other side of the portal, Kron, you find yourself in a cool, dark cave lit by a bioluminescent fungi. I don't know if you have been here before, but you would probably recognize from the tales that this is the Underdark, an immense series of caverns home to all kinds of monsters and civilizations that is, several levels of existence below where us surface dwellers tend to spend most of our time. And along the wall of the cavern you see three portals, kind of keyhole shaped, glow and pop into existence, and several figures step out of them. Some you recognize, one you don't. Jep, your character steps out of a portal and into the cold, dark hallway that is one of these caverns in the Underdark. You've had a very similar evening to Krong. Could you reintroduce your character to us?
My character's name is Josh Molis, and he is a cleric with a little bit of a rogue tendency. He is the cool youth pastor that you never realized would actually take your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Next, coming out of a portal, Josh, I don't think you have met this person, but Krong recognizes them. Jason Snell, would you reintroduce your character to the podcast?
Yes. Hi, everybody. It's Ravel, a Triton druid who was very important in saving the world from the hatching awful thing in the museum, and also
he ripped off a casino
and a chaos maker when he turned into a lion and frightened lots of people in a casino. And he's back. He's back. His blue-skinned self steps out of the portal and goes, "Hey, Krong, good to see you."
Ravel, I'm pleased you recognized me, even though I am completely disguised.
Well, I mean, you did show me your foppish there was
Foppery.
a pub. We were at the pub one night, and a foppish gentleman came over to me and began regaling me with stories about things that Krong and I had done
I imagine,
together.
Krong, if you're not like super concentrating when you're wearing that hat of disguise, maybe you still have like a giant spooky bugbear shadow behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to believe that Ravel could notice the difference and knows that it's his friend. It's Krong.
Sure.
Josh and Ravel, the portals behind you kind of wink closed, and from the fourth portal steps forward a kind of feline humanoid character. Aline, would you introduce your character to the group? You, I don't think, have met any of these creatures or characters before.
I have not. I am Jasper the Tabaxi monk. And I'm fresh off a spa day, so I'm feeling pretty relaxed and excited.
So all of you, though you may you have different interactions in terms of having different work histories, and Jasper is new to the group. You know that you all are members of the Golden Vault, the Society with Secrets. You know that you all received basically the same briefing that I did for Krong this evening. And so you know that you have arrived in the Underdark on a mission to help the Snurf Neblin, also known as Deep Gnome, town of Little Lockford, that seems to be terrorized by some kind of strange character called Tixie Talkworth. the Tuckworth from the title of the adventure.
Are bugbears normally from the Underdark?
I don't know if they're from the Underdark, but I imagine that they spend a decent amount of time in the Underdark. I would probably, I think you don't even need to roll a history check, Krong, to know that things which there would probably be some racial animosity between Snurfneblins and bugbears.
There's racial animosity between everyone and bugbears. I'm starting to think we're the problem.
That's true. Yeah, well, that's not untrue. But in particular, perhaps heightened by the dramatic height difference between a bugbear and a Snurfneblin. So you are in a cold, dark, well, it's cool, a cool, dark cavern kind of hallway. You can see that there's kind of the flicker of torchlight in one direction, suggesting that, there's stuff in that direction, and there is not stuff in the other direction. Which direction will they go in, listeners?
I'm suspicious of this not stuff.
I'm gonna head toward the light. Go toward the light.
Go toward the light. All right.
Stuff word. Oh.
All right. As you head down the hallway, and let me know if this new screen doesn't load for you. You find yourself looking into a cavern, and it is full of kind of makeshift tents and lean-tos and various improvised structures. And there's clearly a community of deep gnomes, Snurfneblins, living here. But they seem like things don't seem great. This does not look like a city or a town or a permanent settlement. This looks like some kind of temporary improvised camp kind of set up here. And there's all kinds of little deep gnome children running around. Some of them kind of yell when they see some of you appear in the cavern entryway, because you are clearly not deep gnomes. In particular, I imagine all of you are significantly taller than the several hundred creatures living in this cavern. Let's just do a quick height check. Deep gnomes seem to vary based on your looking around. You see deep gnomes, they come in a variety of shapes and sizes and skin colors, but they tend to be in the 3 to 3.5 foot tall type of height. Aline, how tall is Jasper?
I don't have it on my character sheet.
I won't hold this to you if you change it later. But...
I think around 6 feet tall.
All right, approximately 2 deep gnomes. Chip, Josh.
Josh is about 5'11".
Okay, just under 2 deep gnomes. Jason, Ravel.
6 feet tall.
Solid 2 deep gnomes. And Monty, what is Krong's current magically induced height?
Krong's base height is 7 feet, and the disguised self that the hat casts on him says he can appear 1 foot shorter or taller. I choose shorter, so I am also 6 feet tall.
All right. So all of you kind of tower over the deep gnomes that are kind of in this setup camp here in this improvised village. And in particular, obviously, you are much, much taller than the children, because that's how it works with children. So,
it's a magical land.
Yep. Some of the children are yelling, tall ones, and running away. But there's clearly a good number of deep gnomes who are living here in this cavern.
Okay.
Any clockwork stuff visible?
Looking around, it in fact seems like there is nothing clockwork visible. This seems like very ramshackle, lots of tents, campfires, nothing really in the way of mechanized equipment or anything like that. As you are kind of surveying the situation, Krong, a tent flap opens, and a kind of elderly but distinguished looking gnome kind of steps out of the tent and approaches you. He's got like a kind of a Santa Claus-esque white beard, and he's got like this really cool red and gold sash that he's wearing as he makes his way over to you. And he says, he at first he starts speaking in Gnomish. I'm assuming none of you speak Gnomish.
I speak Gnomish.
Oh, okay. Josh, he calls out to you and says, travelers, are are you those that were promised? Are you from?" And he whispers, "The Golden Vault."
We're here to help, for sure.
I I'm so pleased. I'm the mayor. Well, at least I was the mayor, Mayor Broadfoot. These are the people of Little Lockford, or what remains of us, at least. We've been displaced, you see. Um, uh, but it is our hope, with your help, that we will return to Lockford, and we will claim it once again for the brave Snurf Netherlands that have worked and lived their lives there for many generations, and that it will be ours again.
We're happy to help, but as you can see, we're not exactly an army.
Well, I'll be honest. We had a small army, and it didn't work out great for us. So maybe, beggars can't be choosers. We've been living in this improvised situation here for, well, it's been almost 3 weeks now. Please come into my tent. And he holds back the flap and ushers you into his. It's clean.
Do we fit in this guy's tent?
Room for all of us?
I think, there are chairs, but I think there is no way that any of you would fit in them. So I think the tent is basically at capacity with all of you in there, sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to sit on the floor. Both, I think, the gnomish chairs are not compatible with your non-gnomish butts. No offense. And B, the height of the tent is incompatible with your twice gnome height sizes. There's kind of a nice carpet on the floor, and he's got kind of an improvised it looks like as a barrel lid that's being used as a table in the middle of it. The operatives of the vault asked me to pull together what I could to prepare you, so that in the hopes that you would be successful with your incursion into Little Lockford. And so that's why I made you this. And he unfurls in front of you a hand-drawn map that is labeled Little Lockford, and it seems to kind of show, it's got all kinds of little notes and annotations on it. This is in your Google Doc notes that I have made available to all of you. But he's like, this is it. This is Little Lockford. He looks at it kind of, it's like looking at his own hand-drawn map is kind of making him kind of look sad, kind of far away look in his eye. There's it's it's a good old town built over magma pits as we do, and there's kind of these 5 islands where our people have lived, and I've tried to represent them here on the map, and yes, so I don't know how much they told you, but we had some trouble with Tixie, poor Tixie Talkworth. She used to be one of our greatest inventors, also head of security. But well, there's no easy way to say it. She's turned on us. She turned all of the security apparatus, most of them her own invention, against us, against the people of Lockford. And we barely got out of there with our lives, those of us that did.
How long ago was this?
Almost 3 weeks. We've been waiting. I sent messengers out to the upper levels. I think some of them even may have made it to the overworld, and I guess that's how we eventually made contact with your group.
Are they still speaking just Gnomish?
I guess so. Yeah, it's all Gnomish right now too.
I'm
Josh.
interpreting. I'm interpreting as well as I can.
Okay. Yep. I've seen Shogun. This is going great. So we can assume that Josh is interpreting. So information is flowing relatively freely, unless Josh, you want to say, I choose not to relay that to my friends.
Yeah, that'd be a real good strategy.
Mm-mm.
Why happened with Talkworth? I want to know why. Was there something that caused her to turn on everybody? Like, what's going on with her?
Oh, poor Tixie. A troubled youth, but so brilliant. She had created some of our most powerful pieces of equipment and automatons here in Little Lockford, and then she turned some of her invention onto herself, and gave herself, well, a robot arm and a really just, I mean, it was a very cool shield arm. But then, according to her friends, she started attempting to enhance her own brain.
Oh,
With cogs and stuff. But with
Yes.
cogs and stuff.
Indeed.
Hmm. That was a very good map.
Thank you. I've spent 2 weeks on it.
Do you have any suggestions about how we can shut down the automatons?
Yes. Well, it's a kind of a two-part process. We know, in Little Lockford there is a security room in the central island. We call it the Overlook, because it looks out over all of Little Lockford. And he pulls up. I imagine he just has like a little framed, lovely painting of Little Lockford, revealing to you here. It looks There is kind of basically among the kind of islands around this magma lake, there is one island kind of built into a stalactite, kind of hanging down from the top of the cavern, and it's got this huge clock face built into the side of it. But there's little platforms on it as well for Snurf Neblins to do their various works. And the mayor Broadfoot says, so within the Overlook, there's a security room, and in that security room, one can use the failsafe key to deactivate all of the clockwork automatons throughout Little Lockford. We, of course, would have done that ourselves if we could have, but Tixie, as head of security, had relocated the key to her own workshop. Her workshop is over here. He points to another island in Little Lockford in the bottom right corner. There's a bunch of red arrows on the map. That's her workshop in a neighborhood called Smoldertown. So just to walk you through here, as mentioned, Overlook, Central Island with the security room. That'll be your final destination. The Smoldertown workshop area, and Tixie's workshop in particular. You'll want to get the key there and bring the key to the Overlook. I don't think you'll need to go to Cave Mouth. Cave Mouth is over here, bottom left. That is our kind of the mining district. Shouldn't be anything of particular of interest there. You'll enter via Old Lockford,
Is
top
there a
left.
new Lockford?
There's not. Well, I mean, all of Lockford is kind of Lockford now. Old Lockford was the original settlement. He drones on at length about the founding of Lockford and
Ooh,
when
fascinating.
the good old days when Lockford was just Lockford, before the neighborhood became Old Lockford. And then he rounds it all up by saying, "Oh, I should mention, I get carried away sometimes. The town hall is there, and I did, in the haste to get out, I may have left some provisions behind in my office in town hall if you feel like stopping by there." Um, One particular challenge, there are various bridges between the islands that can be raised and lowered. And, well, Tixie had control of those bridges, so I'm not sure of what their current status will be. He points to a kind of small island between two big islands and says, "We call this one Halfway Island. There's a little a church there, and then over here, you might pass through it is Turbine Heights. There's the power control stations there, the jail, the infirmary. We did, unfortunately, in the rush to evacuate, there were some prisoners that may have been left behind in the jail." Yes, regretful. But yes, that's our little town. So take a moment to review the map, and feel free to ask Tony or Mayor Broadfoot questions about what you're seeing here.
What did the
Mayor
prisoners
Broadfoot,
do?
what-
I
Should we,
was
what
just
did
going
the-
to ask that.
are they worth freeing, or should we leave them there?
Well, I am not sure. You could ask the head of our militia, and he might be familiar with their particular offenses. They're not locals, I know that.
What is the red network drawn on the map that goes
Yes.
counterclockwise?
There's the slag line, we call it. It's part of our mining operation. There's a series of buckets on basically a automated chain that goes throughout most of Little Lockford, used for moving ore and processed ore around Little Lockford. Ore and processed ore are our main exports. He starts to drone on about the history of mining in the Underdark.
Oh, this is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky, we'll find a museum.
Krong, you would be sure to pick up on the fact that basically the main things that happen is the cave mouth is the entrance to the mining network that the Snurfnablins use here, or is transferred from cave mouth over to Smoldertown, where there's a foundry where it's processed. And then usually it's just sometimes then stuff is going from the foundry up and around to Old Lockford, where it is basically then shipped out. Old Lockford being kind of the connecting point to the outside world for Little Lockford.
This note says that the slag line was built to transport ore, but a bucket is big enough to hold 5 Sverfneblin.
Or
Or 2.5.
Yeah,
or 2.5,
question.
humanoids.
Which
all right,
half?
so it's just
Yeah.
all right. So 2 of us in one bucket, 2 of us in another bucket, probably.
It's a good thing I
and maybe
limited this
maybe
group.
a fifth one just sort of hanging off the edge.
Well, there's only 4 of you this time. Good thing I limited this group to only 4 players. Exactly
Well,
2 buckets worth was my plan when I was planning this adventure.
Jasper's
just
really thin, so
Like I'm very heavy, I bet.
okay. So, Jasper and Krong together.
Well, it's carrying ore, so it can carry a lot. It's just that they're so small.
It's the volume.
You can't
Yeah.
fit more than 2.
Are you? Yeah. Is Krong heavier than a giant, like a wheelbarrow full of ore?
No.
I feel rude asking that question.
What metal do they mine?
Does it specify what metal they mine in here?
There's
Am I
so
willing
much
to
about
look
the
this up?
infrastructure of this place? Surely.
Well, while he's getting into metallurgy here, I asked the mayor about the monks barricaded in the abbey, according to the note.
Oh yes, we at least one abbot is not accounted for, and I mean it's possible he died, but I heard reports that some of the monks may have barricaded themselves there in the temple on Halfway Isle as part of the everything was so frantic and confusing that I'm not sure what is rumor and what is real.
Jasper's ears perk at the mention of monks.
Mm-hmm. Monty, actual line written into this book by Wizards of the Coast. The mines are beyond the scope of the sea adventure.
I'm just saying, if it's gold or lead that's heavier than mithril,
Yeah. They just say mines.
I'm sure it's
I don't,
heavy.
Monty, do you have a special line that we can call to
no,
yell
they
at
don't
someone?
answer my phone anymore.
That makes sense. If they do not specify I assumed it's precious metals of some kind, but it does not seem to. I am not seeing exactly what it is. I apologize for not having this mining related information right at hand. I was very focused on the clockwork automatons. Broadfoot does then start to kind of describe some of the various creatures of Tixie's creation. There's a kind of weird mix of clockwork attendants that help Tixie with creations. There's clockwork guardians that are kind of hound-like. There's clockwork observers, which are like floating eyes. And then he mentions in particular, a foe that the militia was kind of helpless to do anything about was a shield guardian, which is actually a construct that Tixie had found and modified that guards her workshop. And I have included a variety of visuals. I feel like this train has basically become Mayor Broadfort's like vision board of hoping that you will be able to return Little Lockford to its previous state. The image of a creepy looking gnome with red eyes is Tixie Tockford. Tixie Tockworth.
Do the Clockworks have any specific vulnerabilities that we can what is the word? I'm thinking monopolize is not the word.
Exploit.
Exploit. Thank you so much. Yes.
Give me whatever you think you'd be better at, Jasper, history or arcana, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they're both +1, so
okay.
That's a 13 for an arcana check.
I think you've been around long enough to, unfortunately, various, these things are probably a form of construct, and they may include both mechanical and magical parts, depending on how they have been created. And what you would know in general about almost all construct is that they are immune to poison, because they aren't so big into having a circular system. And they're also immune to a lot of things that would be psychic in general, right? Because they also don't tend to have a brain. So it is almost impossible to charm or frighten or paralyze or petrify or exhaust a clockwork construct.
And turning is right out.
Yeah, they are not undead.
If we kill Miss Cockworth, does that deal with the threat, or do we also have to deal with every clockwork individually?
If you bring the key to the Overlook and activate the failsafe, all of the clockworks will power down.
Yes, but
they'll keep going even when she stops.
Right. Yes, they are. They have automated patrols and areas that they guard and protect.
But it's not like a
surely
vampire sire.
Surely they'd break down over the course of like 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Mayor Broadfoot says
where these things are like still going after untold centuries.
Oh yes. Well, as part of when Tixie started to replace her own arms with clockwork things, it was very important. She first built several creatures, clockwork contraptions that are very skilled in the repair and maintenance of the other clockwork things. So it could be centuries before these break down.
Should we make a point of dealing with Miss Tockworth, or just sneak in, turn off the automatons, and leave?
I'm not sure. I mean, so many people have died, but she is one of my citizens. I do what you must.
I feel like we have to either neutralize her or capture her, because otherwise she's just gonna restart the whole thing.
We should, but we should keep in mind that our assignment is just to deal with the automatons.
It's true. Yeah, I think we would just need to detain her so that she doesn't re-enable them more than anything else.
She's probably more automaton than Smurf Neblin by now anyway.
Ooh, yeah, maybe she'll shut down.
A single tear rolls down the mayor's face when you say that.
Okay, any other questions?
Do you have any questions for me or for Jason? Sorry, my different size images have kept you busy sizing things for the stream.
That's all good.
Okay.
Any suggestions of any special places that we could sneak in aside from just trying to enter through the gatehouse?
The gatehouse is the only entrance to Old Lockford. So, you will probably be able to sneak around once you are in, in the city. Um, but there is basically only one entrance into Lockford, because of the nature of how the city was dug out.
How far away is Lockford from where we are now?
It's about an hour's travel. It's on a lower level. You'll have to navigate some of the Underdark to get there. The remainder of our militia is there, camped out at the gates to make sure that they stay sealed. If at least the least we can do for the Underdark is to contain our troubles to Little Lockford. Um, the sergeant of the militia is there, and he will let you in.
And just to be clear, although there's both Old Lockford and Little Lockford, there's no New Lockford or Big Lockford.
Correct.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go, Keys.
Yeah.
Thank you. I promise you this. If you are successful and you make your way back here, he's got a ring on his finger, and he plunks it down on the map, and he says, "This will be yours." And there is like a big, shiny, fancy cut ruby on the ring. It's not as big as Krong's fist, but it's a big chunk of ruby on this guy's ring. And of course the people of Little Lockford will sing songs of your names. And I don't know if that's a violation of the whole secret thing, but it will be very appreciated.
On our way out, if if there are any of your people who are gravely ill, I don't have time for a great deal of healing, but I can at least spare the dying.
He says, yeah, there are a few that I will take you to, and yeah, you have to basically walk through the kind of campsite to get further into the Underdark, and there is a tent where there is, things are not good here in the improvised hospital tent, and Josh does what he can, and the Snurf Devlin, who at first had kind of recoiled from these hulking 6 foot tall giant monsters that had wandered into their camp, kind of look at you with a different look in their eyes after seeing Josh care for some of the gravely wounded Snurf Neblin here in this improvised tent city. So the mayor walks you to the other end of the campsite. There's a tunnel leading down deeper into the Underdark. It is unlit, except for occasional kind of clusters of blues and purples and greens from the bioluminescent mushroom. And he says, "Be careful. The Underdark has been our home for generations, but it is, well, watch where you step."
I hate this place. I would like to switch my disguise to that of a 8 foot tall clockwork guardian of some sort.
Okay. Do you do that right now, or do you wait until you're around the corner from the mayor?
I'll wait till I'm around the corner.
All right. Will we assume that you're all settled? You've gotten what you needed to from the mayor, and we'll head down into the tunnels of the Underdark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And so you do. The Underdark, it's kind of a strange place. It is in some ways like, it's a dark cave. It's a wet cave. It's at places gloomy, at places kind of magical with the weird kind of glowing fungi that illuminate the place. There's always kind of a weird noise somewhere echoing throughout the cave. It's always stuff dripping, and you don't see things, but like every now and then you hear like a scuttling noise, probably just a cave lobster, but it could be almost anything. And so you are making your way down the passageways in the direction indicated by the mayor. Anything you want to do on your travels to the gatehouse for Little Lockford?
Any signs of life? Any kinds of is this going to be a situation where we would expect to see patrolling clockworks before we get there?
It sounds like they are contained to Little Lockford, so it does not seem like you will encounter anything like that here. But give me a quick perception check, Josh.
While that's happening, I'm going to hand
Mm,
3 good berries to each of my compatriots.
very nice.
Eat these for 3 hit points total. 1 hit point each
Not
berry.
not right now, but in the future.
During
So-
the battles to come.
Or right after. Yep. So you all have 3 good berries. Josh, you're looking around. You don't see anything. Josh, I suspect as a human, your night vision is dreadful, and so you are limited to what you have from a light source that you've created in your immediate proximity. Anyone else want to be looking around these caves for clockwork monsters?
Yes. Also, should we decide in a marching order?
Yeah, go ahead. I put you in a arbitrary order on this map. Feel free to revise that order as needed.
I will take point.
Okay.
It's fine. I'll be behind Krong.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm better at melee than ranged. But...
Okay, why don't you go in front of me then?
Okay.
I can do both.
I'm more melee myself.
Okay. Well, you can come up. You can come up there too. That's fine. I'm not usually one to stay in the back, but I can heal people and I can do some range.
My speed's pretty good though. So Josh, why don't you get in front of me?
All right.
So you're finding your way clambering across wet rocks and things. It does seem like this is kind of at least a well-tracked path. It may be like the main place that people travel going to and from Little Lockford, which is, a city that has exports and imports and does all kinds of business with the outside world. But unfortunately, Josh rolled a pretty low perception roll, and thus the group is rather surprised when basically like the side of the cave just starts to like ooze down into the group. What you thought was just kind of a shadow, maybe a lumpy rock, is a monster that is attacking your group. Yeah. Why don't you all roll initiative?
There in melee range.
Yep. Why don't you all roll initiative? Because guess what? I'm rolling initiative. You are being attacked by basically it looks like just a huge puddle of black ooze. The art for this monster I always find a little challenging because it depicts a monster being consumed by another monster, and so that's somewhat distracting. The monster is the black thing eating that orc-looking guy. Just so we're clear. Let's see here. Josh, you got a 4. I feel like that is extremely evocative of how you're dealing with this situation. Jasper got a 13. Kron got a 10. Ravel also got a 2.
2.
Everything is going great. Let's see how I did. And yet I rolled a -1 on this creature. That is right. It has a negative modifier, and I rolled very low, so I have rolled a -1. So we're gonna do this. I don't think this combat will take too long, but you never know what could happen. Jasper, Krong, Josh, Ravel, and then this horrible ooze thing. Basically, it rolls right up to you, and you have a moment to react before it attacks one of you. Jasper, you get to go first.
What do I know about black puddings?
Give me a history check.
5.
5?
I know nothing.
Gross. You don't recommend eating them. Take that, delicious in dungeon.
Would I
It's called
like
pudding.
Yeah.
Aline is assuming that an unarmed strike would not be a great idea. Would a 5 history check tell me?
They are corrosive, so I'll say that you'll. I mean, I feel like there's nothing about this situation that suggests you want to touch it, but if you want to learn that right now in a really deep and meaningful and unforgettable way, feel free. Also, you're a monk. I don't know what you do and you can't punch things.
Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna do two strikes because I do not want to punch this thing. So I'm just gonna do a short sword attack, and that's an 18.
All right. So you have a sword. I feel like you're not the kind of monk that only uses your fist. You also have a backup sword. So you brandish your sword and you leap out. I will tell you, this thing, it's big. It's slow moving. It failed. It has a -1 on the initiative thing. You have no trouble stabbing at it. What happens when you hit it with an 18?
I'm a little scared that it's gonna split into two.
Let's find out together.
That's 6 piercing damage.
All right, you stab into it with your sword, and I imagine just kind of like stir it a little bit, and it does not seem to like that. It gets kind of wobbly in the place where you stabbed it.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's it because I don't have another melee weapon that is not my claws.
All right, Krong, you are next. Josh, get ready.
I'll just attack this thing with
All
my
right.
magical rapier ghoul stabber.
Mm-hmm. Not a ghoul, but it's still stabbable.
I rolled a 20.
That'll definitely hit.
Great. Then there's going to be a D8 plus 5 plus 3D6 for sneak attack plus 2D6 for surprise attack, which I have as a bugbear.
Wow.
Nice.
What was the total of all those numbers, or do I have to total them?
I just rolled it, so I'll give me a second.
Oh, okay.
10, 20, 22.
I thought there was a number I missed. Sorry.
27 points of piercing damage, please.
All right.
And I will bonus action disengage and stroll around this corner.
All right. Now you've stabbed it, and Jasper has stabbed it. I will tell you, probably I should have said this slightly earlier. You're both starting to notice you got, like, as you stabbed it, like there was some spray, right? There's some pudding on you.
The whole cave is like this. This is why I don't like
Yeah.
this place.
So Jasper, I apologize. I should have mentioned this on your turn. You're going to take 1 acid damage.
Okay.
And Krong, you are going to take 4 acid damage. You got some like in your mouth. And this is significant. The weapon that you both hit it with, you each used a sword. One of you even used a fancy Ghoul Slayer sword. Takes a permanent -1 penalty to damage rolls.
It's magic. Does that matter to you at all?
You know what? Non-magical weapons are not affected by this. So yeah, it does matter. Thank you for reminding me.
Non-magical weapons?
Sorry. A non-magical weapon takes that penalty. A magical weapon does not. So
I picked the wrong magic item.
yeah, sorry.
That's
okay. Yes. Josh, you have seen your friends stab at this thing. You've seen them get kind of splashed with acid. It's unclear what is the best way to deal with this horrible creature.
Have I seen anything that would indicate that this creature is operates by sight?
It has no visible eyes, so I would say you've seen the opposite of that.
Okay. Well, I do have a magical mace, but I also have a spiritual weapon, and I'm going to use that.
All right. So you summon. What does your spiritual weapon look like? Is it a mace or a dagger in this situation?
It is a mace.
All right. So there's now a floating magic mace in your vicinity. And Chip, I think this is the first combat we've done with you because you evaded combat so effectively in that last adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So
and you can tell too by the quality of my rolls.
Yeah. You rolled a critical fail, an auspicious start for your first ever combat roll. And yeah, basically it's hard. You're in a dark cave. This thing is kind of shadowy, and you think you line up a shot and you smash something, and it was totally just a stalagmite right next to the ooze. But like that stalagmite, it's it's gone, Chip. So good job there.
It's not going to bother anybody again.
Yeah. Gravel, I think it's your turn.
Yeah, I am going to step back.
Mm.
Is it going to attack me while I step back?
Yeah, I guess it will if you're gonna move away from you. It'll try and reach out and slap you with a pseudopod. I have rolled a 23 to hit.
Whoa, yeah.
So it slaps you for this. Ow.
Yeah, what the heck, Tony?
I rolled, yeah, 4 bludgeoning damage. Just like pummels you right in the chest, and that's smart. And then you realize that there's like a burning feeling from like the glob of slimy acid it left on you. You take 26 acid damage. How is Ravel?
Well, I have 13 hit points left now. So that's
Session 1,
fun.
everybody.
That's fun. Well, now that I've taken the hit for the...
You did this for a reason, presumably.
Yeah, so I pick up 3 pebbles on the ground, which allows me
There were pebbles where you were standing.
No, but I don't want to be next to a thing because it might hit me, you see.
I understand.
I whisper to the pebbles and I say, do good, pebbles, do good. That's a cantrip. And then I throw a rock.
You don't want to throw one of your pebbles that you just talked to?
Well, one of the magic pebbles that I just
magicked. Are they pebbles or are they rock? This is a cave-based adventure.
I throw my magic pebble at the thing.
Okay.
And it's a 17 to hit.
It definitely hits.
Well, it takes 5 piercing damage.
All right, piercing damage. A pebble tears through it.
Bludgeoning damage. Bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning damage. Okay.
Bludgeoned by a pebble.
Anything else, Ravel?
No.
All right. The good news is that there was a spray of acid from the pebble that tore through it, but you're not right there, so you didn't get hit by it. So
that's great.
That's the good news.
That is good.
The creature's next. This is a thing called a black pudding. It's a type of ooze. You'll be happy to know it's unaligned. It's still considering who it's going to vote for. And it is a horrible monster that lives here in various caves, such as the Underdark. Fun facts about the ooze: they are known for slow death. They like to kill their prey slowly, digesting you over time. So let's see. It does not have a huge range of things it could do. It mainly punches you with its pseudopod. Looking between the two targets, Jasper and Josh are both there. I'm going to roll odds. Jasper, even, Josh. I have rolled odds. Pseudopod lashes out in your direction, Jasper. Oh, I went from rolling really well to really poor. I rolled a critical fail. 6 is not going to hit you on a critical fail.
I like it.
All right, so it like sloshes in your direction. It dissolves a pile of rocks near you, and it is your turn.
I don't know what to do.
I mean, you could punch it, but it's really going to hurt. A monk versus a corrosive bucket of ooze it's a rough matchup.
Yeah. I don't have any magic. I don't have like
What about the magic of friendship?
Because I just met these guys.
Oh, sorry. What about the magic of assigned work buddies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The magic of forced association at work? No, thank you.
This is technically team building, guys.
I guess I have to hit it with my short sword. How
about what's the street value of that short sword?
Terrible. This is horrible.
Your short sword is already doing 1 less damage than it has ever done before.
Yeah.
I know. So soon it's just going to be a flat D6 with no.
It's just a short spatula at that point.
Yeah, it's like a butter knife.
Yeah. You know, if you survive, you can probably hit those gnomes up for a replacement short sword on your way out of the adventure. That's a long way from now, but you know,
Yeah.
I feel like they're good for it.
Okay, I'm gonna disengage and step back. Actually, Josh, what's your armor class?
My armor class is 15.
All right, I'll stay here. You know what? No, I'm gonna. Dang it. Okay, short sword. I hate this. This is terrible.
You don't like it, but you're doing it.
Yep, 18.
You definitely
hit. 5. That's actually 4 piercing damage.
All right, you stab into it. I will tell you the key thing here is, you know, you're stabbing. You get the sense that if you were being slicing, that would be a problem. So,
good thing it's not an axe.
Yeah, you stab into the ooze and kind of stir it around a little bit. You're not sure how effective it is, but you're doing something. Unfortunately, you get this is worse. It's worse for you than it was for the ooze. You take 6 acid damage, and your short sword loses gets another -1 to its damage.
Okay.
All right.
This is terrible. Why am I here?
You know, the Golden Vault sends you where you're needed most. Krong.
First, I would like to use my bonus action to hide here in the shadows.
Yep.
Did I roll or am I just hidden?
You're just hidden.
Great. Now I would like to stick my head out and also, more importantly, stick my short bow out and shoot it from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
If I am hidden, I will be rolling my attack with advantage.
You are hidden.
Ooh, that is a 26.
That definitely hits. I will tell you, this thing is not very hard to hit. It's just when you hit it, horrible things happen to you.
Awesome.
No, I'm fine. I'm way over here.
Yeah,
anyway,
you're over
this
there.
is another sneak attack, so I'm rolling 4d6 plus 4.
46.
46.
46.
22 damage.
All right. Krong is nailing Jello to the wall, but it's dark, murderous underground cave Jello, and it's angry. The black pudding starts to have like a real weird shake to it all that suggests that it may be bloodied.
I will call out, "Get away from it. I can kill it from a distance."
All right. Josh, you just heard Krong say that.
Okay, I'm going to try to get over to Ravel,
Now,
get a position to heal.
Chip, because you haven't been in combat much, just to give you, here's how it works. If you just run away from that thing, it's going to get a chance to hit you. If you take your action to disengage, that's like you carefully move backward from it. It won't get to hit you, but then that's your action. So that was like the main thing you got to do that turn. So you could take a disengage and then move, versus if you want your whole action and just move without disengaging, it's gonna try and pummel you. So
and if I do that, I'm leaving Jasper by.
That's fine.
The spiritual weapon it lasts for a minute, so I've still got it, right?
Yeah. Yep. Each round of combat, Chip is 6 seconds.
And I don't need...
rarely has combat lasted 10 rounds.
I can also heal myself if I need to. I wouldn't worry about me so much.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do the spiritual weapon again and hopefully roll better this time.
All right. Did you roll? I didn't see it.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see
Oh, wait a
it.
minute. No, that was a damage. That's
damage roll. I was like, there's not a d20 in there. It's going to be very hard to get it without it.
So how do we're okay? Sorry, found the right.
2 hit.
21. 21 is plenty. This is a magic flying version of your mace, so there's some acid that gets splashed at the wall where the flying mace was, but not at you. And you do 5 force damage to the ooze. Okay. It looks like, it can only take a couple more of those hits. All set, Chip?
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything more I can do with my action.
All right. Ravel.
Magic stone. Boo! Throw a rock
Okay.
at it. 18 to hit.
Tell me about damage,
6
Jason.
damage.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
The ooze is it's still there. It's still angry. Let's see here. Odds, Jasper, even, Josh. Odds, Jasper again. Sorry,
Okay.
Aline.
It's okay.
Pseudopod slaps out in your direction. Oh, I've rolled a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
4 bludgeoning damage as it gets you in the side, but it's that 24 acid damage burning through your fur that really stings.
Okay.
Catch your breath. Tromps around the corner and glares at all of you. And that is where I think we will conclude our adventure for the evening. What have we learned? The Underdark is dangerous. Going places may get you attacked by an ooze, and you may not want to attack that ooze with a short sword that you care about. What horrors? Yeah, pudding is terrible when it's the wrong kind of pudding. What horrors await our adventurers in Little Lockford? How will they deal with the clockwork monstrosities protecting the town? And will they be able to get through to poor Tixie Talkworth, once hero of the town, and now its villain? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill, Keys from the Golden Vault, semicolon, Talkworth's Clockworks. A title I can almost accurately say. Yeah, so that was our adventure for the evening. I'm glad we were able to finish that combat today and not have that pending for next time. And we will rest assured you will reach Little Lockford at the start of the next session. So, Jason, how are we doing?
Jason, we cannot hear you, Jason. Or you cannot hear us.
He's doing stuff.
He's left already.
Has he?
I'm
Nope.
gonna stop my recording.
Yeah, I think I'll stop my recording here now too.
I've stopped my recording.
I'm not sure what happened.
Jason says in the map chat, lost audio entirely.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Well, hopefully now and not during the session. Well, live stream / bootleg. Thank you for listening. We will be back sometime soon with more Total Party Kill hijinks. There's also some non-Tuesday night adventures coming up soon too. So check your calendar and join us if you're able to. Goodbye.
Bye.
Jason, if you can hear us, you can take us offline.
Jason can hear.